Blog Talk Radio.
Like many of you, I've been glued to the television listening as the survivors tell their experiences, looking at the precious faces of those who were killed, and hearing bits and pieces about who they were.
We're live at the Center for Human Rights and at the LGBT Institute, Candlelight Vigil for the Orlando victims. We had to have live coverage.
Como muchos de ustedes, he estado pegando en la televisión sobre los sobrevivientes, contar las experiencias y mirar a las preciosas caras de aquellos que fueron asesinados y enterándonos de a poco sobre quién eran.
We know that those who survived have a tough road ahead, working through the trauma, finding meaning and healing in the midst of such pain.
Sabemos que aquellos que sobrevivieron tienen un duro camino delante de ellos, atravesar a través del trauma, encontrar el sentido y la curación en medio de tanto dolor.
We know that the families of origin and families of choice that remain behind also have a tough road ahead as they experience the year of first without their loved ones. The first birthday, first New Year, first holiday season, the first Thanksgiving. All glaring reminders that those beautiful 49 people are gone.
Sabemos que las familias de origen y las familias de elección quedaron atrás, que también ellos tienen un difícil camino delante de ellos, mientras experimentan el primer año sin sus seres queridos, el primer cumpleaños, el primer año nuevo, las primeras navidades, el primer año nuevo, el primer día de gracias, todos con estos brillantes recordatorios de aquellos hermosos 49 personas y que se han ido.
These are people with hopes and dreams, quirks and struggles, plans for the future. They were part of communities that depended on them and bearers of humor, hope, and love to those in their lives.
Estas eran personas con esperanzas y sueños, singularidades, luchas, planes para el futuro. Eran parte de las comunidades en donde dependían y eran portadores de humor, esperanza y amor a todos aquellos que tenían en su vida.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. And their deaths are extremely costly to us.
Duele y duele mucho. Y sus muertes son extremadamente dolorosas para nosotros.
It is a sobering reminder that the time that we have with each other is precious and short. Each day, each relationship, each interaction is a gift. And we don't know when that gift is going to be taken away.
Es aleccionador, es un recordatorio aleccionador que el momento que pasamos con cada uno es precioso y corto cada día. Cada relación, cada interacción es un regalo y no sabemos cuándo se nos quitará.
Tomorrow is not promised, and the way that we treat each other on a daily basis matters tremendously.
Amen. El mañana no es una promesa. Del modo en que nuestra fe cada día hace la base con una tremenda importancia.
Many of you all have desired a call to action of some kind. And I think we're going to get a little bit more of that later in the program, but I have one call to action for you starting right now.
Muchos de ustedes han querido que se tomen acciones de alguna índole, pero creo que vamos a profundizar eso más tarde en este programa. Pero quiero pedirles que se enfoquen en una acción para empezar ahora mismo.
And that call to action is to love your neighbor.
Esta llamada es ama a tu hermano.
Constantly love on the people around you, whether you know them or not.
Amar constantemente a la gente a tu alrededor, lo conozcas o no.
Love your Latina neighbor.
Amar a tu hermano latino, latina.
Love your gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual neighbor.
Hermano homosexual, lesbiana, transexual.
Love your Muslim neighbor.
Ama a tu vecino en la vida.
Around neighbors and to show love to all the people around you.
Ama a tu hermano moreno o negro. Muéstrale el amor a toda la gente a tu alrededor.
Some kind words here, a smile, and an act of solidarity there. And soon, if we do that, we will have woven a new tapestry of love in our society that seeks to connect rather than isolate.
Algunas palabras aquí, una sonrisa allá, un acto de solidaridad por aquí, y pronto lo haremos. Habremos tejido un nuevo tejido de amor en nuestra sociedad, que busca conectarse en lugar de aislarse.
That searches for understanding instead of always insisting on our own way. That values peace, affirmation, and compassion.
Que busca por el entendimiento, en lugar de insistir en hacer las cosas de la manera propia. Que valora la paz, la afirmación y la compasión.
And so, good people, more love.
Entonces, a todos, más amor, buena gente, más luz.
Now that the spirit of love and life, let us now join our hearts together as we read your name.
Y de este espíritu de amor y luz, unámonos ahora, mientras leemos todos sus nombres.
Pedro Sotomayor Jr., 34 years old, 34 años. Stanley Almodóvar III, 23 years old, 23 años. Luis Omar Osancho Ramos, 20 años, 20 years old. Juan Ramón Guerrero, 22 years old, 22 años. Eric Iván Ortiz Rivera, 63 years old, 36 años. Peter O. González Cruz, 22 años, 22 years old. Luis R. Bielman, 22 years old, 22 años. Kimberly Morris, 37 years old, 37 años. Elisa Motor Joseph, 30 years old, 30 años. David Roman Ford, 29 años, 29 years old.
Roberto Ramon Silva Menendez, 25 years old. Simon Adrian Tadeo Fernandez, 31 years old. Oscar A. Aracena Montero, 26 years old. Enrique L. Rios, Jr., 25 years old. Miguel Anay Oraco, 30 years old. Javier Jorge Reyes, 40 years old. Juan Ramon Panyawa, 32 years old. Jason Vigil Joseph, 19 years old. Corey James Hall, 21 years old.
Deonta Derecha Drayton, 32 years old, Alejandro Barrios Martinez, 21 years old. 21. They Anthony Luis Laureano Isla, 25 years old. 25 años. Giancarlo Méndez Pérez, 35 years old. 35 años. Frankie Gilly de Jesús Velázquez, 50 years old. 50 años. Amanda Alvear, 25 years old, 25 años. Martín Benítez Torres, 33 years old, 33 años. Luis Daniel Wilson León, 37 years old, 37 años. Mercedes Marisol Flores, 26 years old, 26 años. Javier Emanuel Serrano Rosado, 35 years old, 35 años. Juan C. Rivera Velázquez, 37 years old, 36 años. Luis Daniel Conde, 39 years old, 39 años. Shane Evans Anderson, 33 years old, 33 años. Juan Chavez Martinez, 25 years old, 25 años. Gerald Arthur Wright, 31 years old, 38 años. Leroy Valentin Fernandez, 25 years old, 25 años. Evan Eugene Crosby, 25 years old, 25 años. Jonathan Antonio Samuel Vega, 24 years old, 24 años. John C. Nieves Rodriguez, 27 years old, 27 años. Rodolfo Ayala Hernández, 33 years old, 26 años. Brenda Lee Marquez de Cruz, 49 years old, 49 años. Gimari Rodriguez Solomon, 24 years old, 24 años. Christopher Andrew Leonin, 32 years old, 32 años. Ángel N. Amelagro Paz, 28 años, 28 years old. Frank Hernandez, 27 years old, 27 años. Paul Terrell Henry, 41 years old, 41 años. Antonio Devon Brown, 29 years old, 29 años. Christopher Joseph Anthony, 24 years old, 24 años. Gerardo A. Ortiz Jiménez, 25 years old, 25 años. Akira Monet Murray, 18 years old, 18 años. Honramos a la memoria de estos nuestros hermanos y hermanas y vamos a guardar un momento de silencio para recordar y agradecer. We honor the memory of these our brothers and sisters. We take a moment of silence to remember and join them.
We honor the memories. Please join in singing these words by the VRE. I am loved.
Vamos a cantar una canción de VRE a lo más, al lado honor, nuestros hermanos y mujeres.
Good evening. I am Jeff Graham, the Executive Director of Georgia Equality.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Jeff Graham, soy director de Georgia Equality.
There are many elected officials here in Georgia and around the country
Hay muchos oficios elegidos en este país y en Georgia
who refuse to name the truth of the tragedy that has happened to so many communities.
que no quieren reconocer la verdad de la tragedia que ha pasado en todas nuestras comunidades.
Tonight, I've been asked to provide greetings from some of the elected officials in attendance tonight that do stand with the LGBT community.
Esta noche, en han pedido los elegidos que están aquí esta noche con nosotros y voy a nombrar sus nombres.
Those would include Fulton County Commission Chairman John Eves,
Capellán John Lee,
State Representative Art Cannon, and Walter Shahar, who is here on behalf of Atlanta Mayor Christine Reed. Thank you for your support, and for any others that I may have missed. I'm sorry, but it's a wonderful, great crowd. Yeah. We are here. It's important at this time for us to hear voices of our trans families.
Es importante en esta hora oír las voces de nuestras transgéneros.
So often bearing the brunt of the violence for our community.
Muchas veces son los golpes que han dado por las cosas que nosotros hecho.
We must extend our embrace and our shelter for safety and stand as allies.
Tenemos que abrazarlos, tenemos que darle nuestro apoyo.
We welcome Chanel Haley, the transgender inclusion organizer for Georgia Equality and Atlanta's chairperson of our Human Relations Commission. And following Chanel will be Holiday Simmons, who is a trans-masculine two-spirit activist and part of the Southeast Two-Spirit Collective for LGBT, Native American, and Two-Spirit people honoring indigenous traditions.
So I want you to know that I've been to Orlando twice. And during that time, the visit was extremely nice to me. I saw the party there like everybody else. You know, I on my island, enjoy myself. So it's important to know that while the government currently looks for dual nation of impact, let's not forget our flag is beautiful, and that what happened in Orlando could be any one of us today.
Y lo que pasó en Orlando
That our state could have been replaced by any of those victims.
y las caras de ellos podrían haber sido las nuestras.
Unfortunately, the transgender community faces fear every single day.
Desafortunada, la comunidad transexual enfrenta este miedo cada día.
In the world, a transgender person is murdered every 3 days.
En el mundo, una persona transexual muere cada 3 días.
Last year alone, over 20 trans women were killed in America.
El año pasado, más de 20 mujeres transexuales fueron asesinadas solamente en América.
271 between 29 different countries.
271 entre los 29 diferentes países.
And this year, unfortunately alone, there's already reported 13 transgender murders in the United States.
Y este año, desafortunadamente, hay ya denunciadas 13 muertes dentro de los Estados Unidos.
And just so you know, that all of them except for 2 are under the age of 35.
Y para que sepan, solamente 2 eran menores de 35 años de edad.
So as we have gathered here tonight to recognize, remember the claim that we have known of,
Mientras nos reunimos aquí, estamos para reconocer y recordar a los que conocemos y que han muerto.
let our heart feel for those that we do not know of.
Abramos nuestro corazón para aquellos que no conocemos.
For they have too many names to name tonight.
Porque hay muchos nombres que recordar esta noche.
And let's drown that net of attention and rhetoric from those spiteful politicians that speak for our nation today.
Y ahoguemos la retórica negativa de los políticos negativos que buscan nuestra nación.
And so we'll leave with you tonight to always remember that everyone has a story and every journey is worth telling.
Y siempre recordemos que cada uno de nosotros tenemos una historia y un recorrido que vale la pena ser contado.
Gracias.
family.
Hola, familia.
Already sa Ecuador, si lagi na black folk in Mississippi Delta. Maraming holiday sermon from Cherokee people and from black folks from the Mississippi Delta.
All right.
On behalf of the Southeast Two-Spirit Collective, we would like to share our intense sadness for the tragedy that happened at Tulsa Nightclub.
La colección de los espíritus del sureste quisiera compartir nuestra expresión que sentimos para la tragedia que se llevó a cabo el sábado pasando por el Louddmouth.
We send up smoke, our sage, our cedar, our tobacco, our copal.
Enviamos fuego, enviamos nuestras oraciones al cielo.
And our prayers for those who have transitioned to the ancestor world.
Para los que ya han hecho su transición a nuestro mundo ancestral.
To the injured, to those who left behind, and for all of us who now live in heightened fear.
A los heridos, a los que se han quedado, y a todos nosotros que estamos viviendo con muchos miedos.
As LGBT, Indigenous, and Two-Spirit people, we are no strangers to silence and fear.
Como gente indígena, LGBT y gente de los espíritus, conocemos muy bien lo que es la violencia y el odio.
And just as we continue to survive today, we also want to send pieces of this courage and resilience to our fellow members of the LGBT community in this time of fear and grief.
Y como seguimos nosotros viviendo aquí hoy mismo, queremos enviar una pieza de este valor y esta fuerza que sentimos muy presente a nuestros amigos y los miembros de esta comunidad LGBT durante este tiempo de miedo y de tristeza.
We want to acknowledge the fact that the majority of our relatives killed that night were black and brown Latinx folks.
Hay que reconocer el hecho de que la gente que fue ganada esta noche, la mayoría fueron personas morenas y personas hispanas morenas.
Folks who were also Boricua, Taíno,
Personas boricuas, taínos,
Quisqueya, Azteca, Mexica, Maya, Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Seminole, and all the countless unnamed.
de todos los diferentes tipos de razas y etnicidades, personas que caminaban en este mundo con nosotros.
There were also folks who were immigrants and who walked the delicate line between being queer, trans, and a person of color.
Eran también personas inmigrantes que caminaban esa línea delicada entre lo que es ser queer, trans, género y una persona de color.
The Southeast Two-Spirit Collective stands in solidarity with these special people and all of their movements.
La colección de los espíritus del sureste se para aquí y se solidarizan con estas personas y sus movimientos.
Finally, we want to remind people that LGBT and Two-Spirit people are Muslims, Buddhists, Christians, Jews, Hindus, atheists, spiritualists, witches, Wiccans, and the list goes on. We want to be mindful of using this word terror.
Hay que tener cuidado con la palabra terrorista.
While in fact this was an act of terror,
A pesar de que sí fue un acto de terrorismo,
such words have become inflammatory in these times, and they only strengthen public Islamophobic sentiment, and we say no.
no.
In those days, we do want to remind folks that it was our Christian siblings that wiped out our indigenous population of we about 5.2 million
Hay que recordar que fue nuestra gente cristiana, que es realmente borró la gente indígena en América, trayendo la población de más de 70 millones, ahora menos de 5.2 millones.
Hatred has no religion.
El odio no tiene religión.
The Creator made us all right to give and receive love, just as our ancestors forged through their fears
we will ask the 49 souls who cross over at Pulse nightclub to guide and enlighten us.
Nos hizo el Creador para dar y recibir amor, y mientras nuestros ancestros sobrevivieron y enfrentaron sus miedos, vamos a pedir que las almas de esas 49 personas que han sido su transición en el Louddmouth, que podrán ser guiadas y que tendrán la luz para encontrar su sendero, mientras continuemos buscando nosotros en el sendero rojo.
As we continue walking this righteous red road, we will continue to fight for healing and justice for LGBT people, for our two-spirit relatives, and for our species as a whole. All of my relations, I hope.
As we heard, hate has no religion.
Como escuchamos, el odio no tiene religión.
But it is so incredibly powerful when religious voices actually turn to love.
Pero es increíblemente poderoso cuando las voces religiosas se vuelven amor.
And it has been that sense of love and solidarity that I have felt from the Muslim community.
Y es ese sentido de amor y solidaridad que he sentido de la comunidad islámica,
Who have reached out to so many of us in the LGBT community.
que se acercaron a muchos de nosotros en la comunidad de LGBT.
They quickly penned responses noting that the LGBTQ community in Atlanta have been some of the staunchest leaders speaking out against Islamophobia.
Ellos rápidamente se enfocaron buscando en la comunidad LGBT en Atlanta habían sido los líderes incondicionales hablando en contra de la fobia hacia el Islam.
To invite their voices as we also pledge not to let this incident further bigotry and misunderstanding in our community.
Los invitamos que sus voces también sean un voto a no dejar que este incidente de intolerancia y de falta de comprensión.
So let me introduce you to some members of my interfaith family.
Y por favor, permítame presentarles a algunos de mis miembros de mi comunidad.
Amina Jalil from Muslims for Progressive Values.
Amina Jalil, de Progressive Values, de Islam.
Mujeres at the intersection of the queer and Muslim community.
Está en la intersección de la comunidad islamita y homosexual.
Following Amina will be Somaya Khalifa from the Islamic Speakers Bureau.
Y también a Somaya Khalifa, de la oficina de los islámicos.
And Imam Zeman El Amin,
Y también Imam Zeman El Amin,
the chair of World Pilgrims,
el presidente de Interfaith, de la Cámara de Interfaith,
and the Imam Emeritus from the Atlanta Masjid al-Islam.
Imam Emeritus de Atlanta Masjid al-Islam.
Good evening. My name is Mi nombre es Amina Jalil.
I am Muslim.
Yo soy musulmán.
I am black.
Soy negro.
I am queer.
Yo soy queer.
And I do not apologize for any of them. Years to get to where I can say that.
there are many feelings that I have about this Orlando situation. And it took a while to tap into what those feelings are. Because I heard about the shooting and I instantly thought they're going to bring it on. And then I heard the shooter was Muslim. And I thought, what is this? And then I learned that he was in and out of the queer community as well. And I could not help but wonder what could have helped this? What could have prevented this? And as someone who has wrestled with the identity, with the Muslim identity and the queer identity, the Black identity, it is what it is. Okay, I'm sorry.
También estaba en el mundo queer, entonces el venir y venir en este mundo, ¿qué es lo que pudo haber sido para que se pudo haber hecho para haberlo ayudado a salir de esa situación?
As someone who has wrestled with these identities myself, I know what it's like to feel like you have to choose.
Yo sé lo que es el tiempo y lo que es la relación de tener que elegir.
And I know what it's like to experience. I can't speak for this person.
Yo puedo hablar con esa persona.
And to be clear, even though I stand at this intersection,
Y puedo sostener, aún estando en esta intersección,
I do not have the answer.
no tengo la respuesta.
What I know is what would have helped me,
Lo que sé que me pudo haber ayudado a mí,
and what helped me.
y lo que me ayuda a mí,
As this crowd fills up this evening,
como se siente en esta multitud,
and I walk through it,
también a través de
I can see the comfort in people.
todo este confort en las personas.
It is the same discomfort that some of the Muslims that I know
Es el mismo confort de los humanos y otros
feel when they know that I'm a married queer woman.
que ellos sienten cuando saben que es una mujer que es queer.
None of us are going to make it
Y ellos no saben que va a llegar.
if we all don't make it. Though it's good to see these pieces of community come together,
Es bueno ver las partes de las distintas partes de la comunidad que se juntan, se ayudan.
the work has to be done.
Pero el trabajo se hace,
The healing has to take place. And we have to allow people like me who live in the middle
y tenemos que permitirlo tan como yo, como en el medio,
the freedom
la libertad
to be.
de ser.
Prayers are great.
Las relaciones con Dios.
The word starts after the ending.
El trabajo.
Greetings of peace, my brothers, my sisters.
Saludos a todos, hermanos.
Shalom, shalom. We are here tonight to remember to march up, to come together as a community, to come together and show the world how America, we come together as brothers and sisters in spite of tragedy such as what happened in Orlando. It's very sad to think that people, when Orlando comes to mind, it's no longer going to mean the Magic Kingdom. It's going to, in lots of people's minds, it's going to be the massacre. It's going to be false and what happened there. The American Muslim community is there along with the LGBT community. It's really touching when this tragedy happened and we reached out to leadership in the LGBT community, offering our condolences and offering what can we do to help. And the answer was, we are worried about the backlash to the Muslim community. This is the leadership that is in that community, and our flash upon itself soon. There's so many raw feelings that went through all of us when we heard about the news. One story that really touched my heart was the story of a mother who received text messages from her son that started at 2 o'clock in the morning, telling his mother, please call the police. He continued to text her and tell her that he is locked up in the bathroom. He then later told her that he thinks he's going to die. As a mother of children, I could not help but weep. The Muslim community has come together across the country and rolled out crowdfunding for the victims and the families of those impacted in Orlando. It started right after what happened in Sunday, and this morning they raised $63,000. Behind you, on the panel of that fountain, one of the things I think we need to raise the order here, and it's never doubt that a small group of God-committed citizens, how they can change the world. And I believe with all my heart, with all of us coming together this evening, we can make something happen. Let's control the guns. Let's stop marginalization of people. brother and sister to me. Say, God bless you all.
Here is such a beautiful crowd.
Y aquí se ve una hermosa multitud.
And this is the perfect place to have the gathering.
Y este es el perfecto lugar para tener esta reunión.
And in the words, Samaya gave the words on one side, on the words on the other side, from Nelson Mandela.
Tenemos las palabras de Nelson Mandela, de un lado y de otro.
It rings so deeply in my heart. For to be free,
Que suenan tan profundamente en mi corazón. Para ser
it's not merely to cast off one's chains,
no es meramente romper cadenas,
but to live in a way that respects and embraces the freedom of others.
pero vivir en una manera que respeta y une a la libertad de otros.
So let us pray.
Oremos.
Oh God, merciful benefactor,
Oh Dios, benefactor y misericordioso,
healer of broken hearts.
curador del corazón destruido.
We gather this evening remembering 49 lives taken in Orlando, Florida.
Nos reunimos aquí esta noche recordando las vidas acabadas en Orlando, Florida.
And the over 50 wounded and injured, we pray for each of them, their families, friends, and for their city.
Y los demás 50 heridos, lesionados, oramos por cada uno de ellos, sus familias, sus amigos en esta ciudad.
We ask that you, oh God, deepen our faith so that we trust that those 49 souls continue to live beyond the veil of death.
Les pedimos, Señor, que agrandes nuestra fe y que podamos confiar que esas 49 almas continúen viviendo más allá del velo de la muerte.
That they live beyond death in the afterlife with your mercy and your reward.
Detrás del vuelo de la muerte y después de esta vida con tu misericordia y tu recompensa.
Oh God, we ask that as you heal the injured, heal the hurt of the families, of the community, and heal our nation and our world.
Oh Dios, pedimos que mientras curas al herido, cures también a las familias, a la comunidad y cures a esta nación y a nuestro mundo.
Protect us from fear that cripples, from hate that assaults and murders, from extremism that destroys and abuses.
Protégenos del miedo, que paraliza, del odio, de la agresión, del que asesina, y produce el extremismo que destruye y continúa el abuso.
Oh God, turn our hurt into hope, our terror into fortitude, our hate into compassion, and turn our loss into remembrance and appreciation.
Convierte nuestro dolor en esperanza, el terror en fortuna, el odio en compasión, no, la pérdida en el recordatorio y la apreciación.
Guide us to peace, to justice, to security, and to understanding.
Guíanos hacia la paz, la justicia, la seguridad, el entendimiento.
Help us to lift those who are down, to embrace those who are broken, to support those who are hurt, and to love those who remain and those who have lost their humanity as well.
Ayúdanos a elevar a aquellos caídos, abrirle nuestros brazos a los que están dolidos, apoyar a aquellos que están en dolor y amar a aquellos que están en la humanidad y a aquellos que necesitan humanidad.
Oh God, heal our hearts, calm our minds, relieve our souls, hear our prayers, and empower our fears.
Oh Dios, calma nuestras mentes, alivia nuestras almas, escucha nuestras oraciones y refortalece nuestras lágrimas.
And now lead us from death to life, from hate to love, from fear to trust, from despair to hope, and let peace fill our hearts, let peace fill our nation, and let peace fill our world.
Ahora guíanos de la muerte a la vida, del odio al dolor, del miedo a la confianza, de la desesperación a la esperanza. Deja que la paz llene nuestras oraciones, nuestra nación y nuestro mundo.
Oh God of us all, hear our prayers, hear our prayers, hear our prayers.
Oh Dios nuestro, escucha nuestra oración, escucha nuestra oración, escucha nuestra oración.
Every moment my heart fills to the brim and I think it can't expand further. And yet, somehow, listening to the power of the people who have spoken, it continues to get larger and larger.
En este momento mi corazón está lleno de amor. Y no pienso que se puede poner más grande, pero cada minuto siento que se me crece y crece más.
I know that we are filled to the brim,
Estamos llenos, altos.
and so we begin to end our vigil by looking ahead.
Y esta noche queremos terminar para mirar al futuro.
There are no easy fixes,
No hay más de lo fácil.
nor will we get to where we have greater understanding and coexistence.
Y tampoco podemos llegar a un lugar que tenemos mejor entendimiento y existencia
By leaning on just a few leaders.
con solamente el apoyo de algunos de nuestros líderes.
I want each and every one of you to hear,
Quiero que todos oigan.
it is an all-in time of our history.
Es un tiempo para todos estar de acuerdo. Todos.
And there's a person that represents being all in,
Si hay una persona que representa de estar de acuerdo,
a rock and great support of our community.
una piedra y una persona que nos apoya en nuestra comunidad.
It is Simone Bell.
Eres Simón Bell.
She is the Southern Regional Director of Atlanta Regional.
Ella es la directora del sureste de Goiás.
And she will be followed by a group of us
Y ella va a estar seguida con un grupo de nosotros,
calling all of us into action.
llamando todos a nuestra acción.
Y'all, they were babies. Yeah. Those names that were called, they were babies. Saturday night and Sunday morning, while living their lives, worshiping in the sacredness of love and celebration, our greatest fears came true. That the overwhelming amount of hate speech spewed by elected officials, religious folks, bigots, homophobes, and transphobes would reach our families in critical mass. That the evil words that have been spoken against us would find their way into the heart and soul of another.
that violence against us as individuals would reach critical mass. Our family members were taken from us. Young, Latinx, and people of color. Queer, trans, gay, lesbian, gender non-conforming, non-binary, and so many other ways that they were. They were celebrating who they were created to be. A rich and diverse group of people. Our movement and our desire to just be has always been about love. Love for each other, and understanding that only we can comprehend. Love that binds our allies with us. Love that we wrap ourselves in as a buffer against daily insults, rejection and threats. Love that shouts down homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia. It shouts down anti-immigration, anti-black, and anti-people. It is a love that surpasses false messages that seek to divide our righteousness. Today, that love gives us strength. It gives us strength through our shock, our disbelief, and our fear. It gives us just a little bit more to go a little bit further. To remember our brothers and sisters and our kinfolk in Poland. And across America. This love calls us to remember that this attack was not only against them, but against all of us. And our love for each other demands that we fight back. It demands that we stand against irresponsible rhetoric, language, ideologies, and flat-out lies. Y'all, we got to stand together. Shoulder to shoulder, back to back, side to side. We must reinforce ourselves to continue the work of challenging laws and policies. And those methods that do us psychological and physical harm. We must call out anti-Muslim speech that leads to Islamophobia. We must call out conservative Christian false doctrine. Any other elements that seek
familia y depresión.
The tragedy at home, it demands that we do that.
La tragedia en todo lo que existe que hagamos esto.
Now we're going to face backlash.
Pero vamos a enfrentar,
We're going to be challenged to our very core.
vamos a desafiar cada uno de estas fuerzas
But we will survive.
y vamos a sobrevivir.
And we will do so keeping our close family in mind.
Y vamos a recordar a cada una de las familias que elegimos el fútbol.
Our transgender women of color.
Los transgéneros, mujeres de color,
Our trans children in American schools.
los niños transgéneros de las escuelas de América.
And we will do so remembering
Y sí vamos a recordar
that we were never meant to survive.
que nosotros no fuimos destinados a sobrevivir,
But we will survive.
pero vamos a sobrevivir.
And not out of fear, but out of love. So this is quite amazing to see all these faces.
Es impresionante ver tantas caras aquí.
And we're here to show you what the future looks like.
Estamos aquí para mostrarles cómo se ve el futuro.
We're here for a call to action.
A una llamada a la acción,
But you can hear the call to action online.
la cual han escuchado toda esta noche.
So we on the stage here,
Y que nosotros aquí en el escenario
we're actually not the future, we're today.
no somos el futuro, somos el día de hoy.
So we hope you will hear these words and please take them to heart.
Esperamos que escuchen tus palabras y las tomen en tu corazón.
Our call to action tonight is a simple one,
La llamada a la acción esta noche es simple, sencilla,
but not always an easy one.
pero no siempre fácil.
We call you to love courageously.
Son llamados a amar con valor.
Love yourself
Ámese usted mismo
for the wisdom, beauty, and diversity you bring to the world.
por prioridad, belleza y diversidad que usted mismo trae al mundo.
You are unique
Es único
and special
y especial
and loved
y amado,
just the way you are.
tal y como es.
Love your friends and family,
Ame a sus amigos y familia,
origin or chosen,
de origen o familia escogida,
for they are your community.
porque ellos son su comunidad.
Together, you create a foundation for acceptance of one another.
Juntos hacen la fundación para la aceptancia de uno al otro.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
No se preocupe de lo no importante.
Love courageously and without limits.
Amar con valor y sin límites. And that's important. Love those that are not like you. Igual importante. Amar a los otros como usted mismo. This call to action is a call to embrace someone who is different. Su llamada a la acción esta noche es para abrazarse a una persona que es diferente. Embrace el raza. Religion. Politics. Política. Ethnicity. Etnicidad. Gender or sexual identity. Identidad de género o sexual. Place of birth. Lugar de nacimiento. Age. Edad. And the list y la vida continua. What does the world look like? ¿Cómo es el mundo de ellos? Usually, it's much the same. Por lo general es mucho lo mismo. El de uno mismo. We all want safety. Todos queremos seguridad. Freedom, libertad. Happiness, felicidad. And love y amor.
we ask you to stand up when you see injustice against a fellow human being. We are all of the same humanity,
Como todos la misma humanidad,
but unique and different and beautiful.
a pesar de que somos únicos y diferentes y bellos.
So as you go forward, look at the people around you. Smile at the person who has done the job.
Así, caminando adelante, mira a los demás, sonríe a la persona con su cara cubierta, con su pichada.
Say hola to the person who speaks Spanish.
Y decir hola a la persona que es español.
And use the proper gender pronouns, even if you've never heard of them.
Y utilice el pronombre.
And then we ask you to teach others
Y entonces
the same,
enseñe a los demás a hacer lo mismo,
because that is how we will change the world.
porque de esa manera vamos a cambiar el mundo.
So we ask you to reach out to the organizations that are here tonight, get involved, speak your voice. We are an incredible community. We have the power to make change.
Alcance y hable con las organizaciones esta noche aquí presentes, hable con ellos, comparte su información. Tenemos el poder para lograr cambio.
And if you need help, seek help. Reach out to a friend, to an organization. We are there for each other. We must be there for each other.
Y si ocupa ayuda, pide ayuda, busca ayuda, hable con sus amigos. Tenemos que estar presentes uno al otro.
Okay, so we'll leave you with this last little piece.
Vamos a pasar. De su amor, libre en este.
It will break down barriers and help us live.
Para destruir las barreras y darnos la conexión.
It will bring us together, not in fear, but in courage, and not in hate, but in love.
Para unirnos no en miedo, sino en valor, y no en odio, sino en amor.
So as we prepare to leave from this place,
Al salir de este lugar,
I have a couple of requests.
tengo algunas cosas que pedirle.
First, the housekeeping.
Primero, limpie la casa.
It is all volunteers this evening who have helped put this together.
Todo aquí se ha hecho con voluntarios.
Please help us by taking your trash with you.
Por favor, recogen su basura, llévenselo con ustedes.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias.
I also want to appreciate your willingness to allow for a rally like this to be done correctly.
También, te doy las gracias a todos por la poder de hacerlo correctamente.
Our patience and willingness to each other
Nuestra paciencia y nuestra habilidad de trabajar juntos
is such an important start.
es muy importante para la empresa, para empezar con esto.
So please thank our translators.
Por favor, dale gracias.
I love you so much for honoring the intersections that we're able to speak this evening.
Y los quiero todos, mucho, además todos los que están aquí participar.
So my tradition teaches
Mi tradición nos enseña
that the creation of the world
que la creación del mundo
is left incomplete.
es dejada incompleta.
And we feel that precisely when tragedy hits.
Y sentimos que precisamente cuando la tragedia cae,
And it is because
y es porque
we are partners in furthering creation.
somos socios en seguir con la creación.
If we do not rebuild, no one else will.
Si no reconstruimos, nadie más lo va a hacer.
Each of us is born with a mission to make this world a better place with their gifts.
Todos nosotros, con nuestros tributos, nos dan la permisión para hacer un cambio en el mundo.
No one person is responsible for doing it all.
Nadie lo puede hacer solo.
But neither can any of you abstain.
Y tampoco, ninguno de ustedes puede dejar de ayudar.
Our hearts are broken.
Nuestros corazones están rompidos.
But it is from that brokenness
¿Ves? Esa destrucción,
that our love will rebuild.
nuestro amor resucitará.
So as you leave this place,
Y al salir esta noche,
listen to your heart
oigan sus corazones
and see the light that emerges from it.
y vean la luz que sale de tu corazón.
It will shine the way for your path.
Te iluminará tu pasaje.
We must remember,
Y recuerda
we hope to heal,
que pensamos que podemos estar
and together
y juntos
we
nosotros
will shed a little light.
podemos alumbrar.
And we are concluding the live coverage of the Center for Civil and Human Rights LGBT Institute Candlelight Vigil in Atlanta, being held for the Orlando victims that have lost their lives in a senseless murder. Louddmouth Radio is on location in Atlanta downtown, right off of Ivan Allen Boulevard, where there's hundreds of people, thousands of people out here gathered, standing together, arm to arm, back to back, grieving and sharing their love of human life. And we thank those who have had the opportunity to tune in. And if you have not had an opportunity to tune into this show, it will be available for playback. And so this concludes our show tonight. Live coverage at the Candlelight Vigil.